In the unreal world, finding the perfect place to settle down is an essential task, and our hero Thor has taken one step closer towards accomplishing that goal. Welcome, everyone. My name is Ryan, and we are back with episode 6. This is the Runaway series of Unreal World, and fortunately our character here has already made his runaway. This time we're running away from a different enemy, and that is just the lack of a suitable place to smoke our meat. If that doesn't make a lot of sense, well, don't worry. I've got a playlist for the series, so you can go back and watch all the previous episodes if you've missed those, but we are here now down south. Not all the way south, but if we look, we're in a good position. I like this culture, but the teal one, or this color, this is the really good culture to trade with. They have the best armor and weapons. They'll have tons of animals, so we're going to look for a great place to set up a permanent home somewhere in this area. But that doesn't mean it's going to be completely safe or easy. We've still got to do a ton of hunting, and in fact, we ate all our food on the trip down here, so we're starving right now. But we settled in a spot which actually has some ducks. We noticed right at the end of the last episode there's some ducks in this very lake. So what I did was I took a little hike here in the early hours of the morning, filled my pockets with some large stones. Now, if we fell one of these small trees nearby, we should be able to set up some light lever traps, and that'll be good. A little passive hunting while we go out and try and capture a bigger animal. So, perfect. We've got 3 slender trunks. I'm going to pick those up. And our character Thor is very strong, so he's able to carry hundreds of pounds at once. Yeah, we just saw a bird fly by, so let's zoom out. We'll get a better idea of spacing here. I'm not going to do my normal trick of putting one in each cardinal direction. I think we'll focus our efforts more around the lake shore. So let's set up one of the traps right about here. Perfect, there it is. Active and ready to go, although it's not baited, but we just don't really have anything to bait it with. Yeah, I don't have any baiting items. Maybe some of this heather or even some mushrooms, if we find some, would work. But let's go ahead and... Although I have been told some people say that only raw meat works for traps and stuff, it's a hotly debated topic. Alright, there's another trap. We can do 4, or actually only 3, because I need one more slender trunk. I don't normally put them so close, but let's drop one right here in this corner too, right by our shelter. See, another duck. A tufted duck has just entered, so I'm going to ignore it for now, but yeah, I'm counting on these traps to spring at least once or twice while we're here in the area. Starvation has set in once again for our hero Thor, but at the cost of his own belly, he has done much exploring, and we have uncovered some favorable hunting territory, but we have just encountered our first river. Now, we don't have any means of fishing at the moment, but rivers are also interesting spots. You know, they're great to set up a base, especially near some rapids, like this little tile right here. That's a rapid. That's never going to freeze over, so during the winter we wouldn't have to worry about breaking the ice. And right here is a natural crossing point. Now, I'm not going to cross, but I will show this to you. You can find these occasionally. They're not guaranteed, but it will allow you to cross without swimming. You are going to have to get wet, though, and wade across. Yeah, you can see from here, we can see the other shoreline. This is the river itself. It just gets so shallow at this point that we can wade without swimming. As I said, if I went out into this color of water, we'd be swimming. And that's dangerous, extremely dangerous, especially if you aren't a very good swimmer. I mean, you can drown very quickly. Your stamina bar will start to deplete, very quickly. So we'll just move away from it, and just wanted to note it, because rivers are fun, but they do act as natural barriers for travel. So, in other words, if we do eventually move southward more, or if we want to ever go trade with the other culture, the culture I'm talking about is the Drick. forever after known as the Drick culture, we will have to find a way to get around or over that particular body of water. It has been several days since I last spotted an animal, and that animal happened to be a bear. So I've kind of left the area of our first base camp down here in the south, which was just over there, and we're over here now. I've also marked this one, but not because we've set up a second camp. No, no, no. Because we have finally spotted an animal. So we're still well into the summer here. We're on day 6 of the 4th week before the midsummer point. Just good to keep note of that because sometimes there'll be big jumps in time. I'll cut out the boring parts where I'm just wandering through the woods looking for animals, but the exciting parts, like the hunting, we will definitely do together. Now, this is a big hunt. You can see starvation bar isn't full, so we're not near death yet, but we are definitely feeling the effects of starvation. Yeah, we have a negative 22% penalty, and that's even when I'm carrying next to nothing. Let's just rest a bit. No, that's the baseline right there. So we're almost like a quarter of the way to exhaustion right off the bat, which isn't good, but I think we can pull it off if we're lucky. The only issue right now is that we're in a very small open area surrounded by forests basically all around us. So we're going to have to run this thing down and hopefully avoid going into the forest. There it is. Let's look at it. Small elk. That's fine with me. We'll take anything at this point. And let's proceed to chase it down. So it is sprinting. I'm going to sprint after it very briefly, just until we reacquire it here. Let's see. Oh, yeah, it's already running towards the woods. Look at this. Oh my God, this might be impossible. I think it's already escaped into the tree line. Well, the first animal that I've seen in days might be impossible to catch just simply because of the location. But maybe we shouldn't give up just yet. Let's return. Around over here. I'm hoping just to see it pop out of the forest or maybe some tracks that lead away. Dang it. Oh no. Well, I think what I'll do is I'll just pick everything up. Yeah, we've got to make the tough choice. Do I stick around and search for it and try and find it again? I don't think so, honestly. Even if I spent a day and finally reacquired it, it could just run right off into the trees again. So, yep, we're going to have to make the tough choice to delete that marker and just keep looking around. But that's not the end of the world. What I am currently doing is looking for a cross. Somewhere we can cross this river, really is what I should say. Now, unfortunately, the river has 3 different branches right now. So it will be exceedingly difficult to cross it. The problem with crossing it at this point is, like, for instance, I could cross right here at this little spot, but I don't necessarily see a crossing point anywhere else. Here's one here, actually. Then I could get to this island, but there's still a 3rd river. And alternately, we can continue just traveling the length of the river, hoping there's like an easier cross point, but there might not be. So it's a risk, man. Every choice we make right now could have huge consequences. Because like I said, we're the quarter of the way towards fatal starvation. Let's see where we've gone to on the map. Yeah, we're well into the territory of our yellow neighbors here. Let's see if the river comes together a little bit the farther we go. Oh no. It actually just opened up into a big old lake here. Nope, there's a village. We are going to stop off here because we're tired. And we'll just greet these folks. Hello there. Okay, no quests here. Man, oh man. Looks like they might have dogs for sale too. Let's actually find out. Let me talk to this guy. Do you have dogs? They do. Well, we certainly can't afford one right now, but it's a good idea to always mark that on the map. So I'm just going to go to that. We'll say dogs. There we go. And yeah, let's pick a little building, which isn't too bothersome. Let's lay down, go to sleep for today. But the hunt continues tomorrow, no doubt about it. Oh boy, I did something a little bit foolish. I kind of traveled farther south than I should have. I left everything back here at the camp, but what I did was I actually did find a way around the river there. So we're able to go around the lake through here without crossing, but I have encountered an elk, and there's no way we can pass on this one. So let's head over to it. We're chilly, a bit tired, but we're as good as we're going to get. I'm going to drop that and that. Now we'll go ahead and leave that mark again. Just say stuff. Let's change it to green. Let's just say stuff. There we go. All right, now let's encounter this little thing. We got a good runway. There's plenty of open area around us here. Could be a bit of a challenge still, though, just because of our physical condition. All right, it is a big bull elk. Yep. Very nice. All right, I'm going to pull out to maximum view. And here we go. Once again, let's hope he doesn't run directly into some trees this time. All right, we got to really conserve our sprinting because, yeah, we're already handicapped on our endurance and physical performance. There it is. He's slightly fatigued. Let's push him and see if we can get him to breathless, people. All right, we've got him to the next stage now. He is slightly fatigued, but let's keep pushing it, see if we can get him on to the next one. And there it is, middle of the road. He is fatigued. We've still got to get him very fatigued, and then finally breathless. Let's go. Okay, very fatigued, the penultimate. Now, let's finish this guy off together here. So he is sprinting. I'm going to sprint. We're at negative 27, but it's going up fast with every dash we take. But you can see I'm literally able to keep up with him right now. And he's still very fatigued. We want him to be breathless. So I'm going to push, push, push. Oh, okay, he's coming up to a body of water. I bet she's probably breathless. Yeah. So we're in good shape. We've got our knife in our hand. We should be able to walk right up to him. We are pretty fatigued. We're at about 50%, a little bit more. We're at 40%, so I'm kind of rounding up a little bit, but it's good to play it conservative with this endurance, because remember, combat also lowers our endurance rate. All right, we are now in melee, so same old strategy, blunt to the legs. Take out his legs, and it's easier to take them out. You don't have to chase him around. There we go. So he is unconscious, but it's not totally over yet. Let's go blunt to the skull. Preserve the skin, and let's finish him off. And there it is. I have done the dirty work. Took me about a dozen or so hits. We're cold and tired. It's midnight, but we've done it. We got one. Now, we definitely want to set up a little bit of a fire here, so let's cut this down. I'm just going to move these right... Oh, wrong command. I'm going to move these, right down here. Boom. All right, so we'll stop moving. Let's drop... Ooh, I don't have any sticks or branches, so let's get some off this tree. It is summer, so we do have to worry about this meat, going bad, but to be quite honest, we just killed it, so we've got a couple of days. Although I can't waste time. So let's get a fire going. We're probably going to end up just sleeping right here for, the rest of this morning. But let's go ahead and get it skinned. All right, beautiful. Yep, we're extremely tired. I'd like to butcher a little bit. What did we get? Ragged elk skin. Less than 20 pounds, but that's okay. Not a big deal. We'll take that with us and, of course, prepare it once we find a village to smoke the meat. But let's see if we can butcher a little bit. Okay, good. So we managed to get 36 edible cuts. We're ready to drop, though. Let's sleep. Okay, now we're weary, so I'm going to stand up and actually cook a little bit. Let's do 10 pieces, and we'll butcher for a moment here. But just a couple of minutes, 35. I don't want the meat to burn. And you can see it says it smells like the roast cut is ready. So we'll take a break. Yes, the progress was saved. So we will pick up from that point when we go to butcher again. But let's grab the roasted elk cuts off the floor. Oh, beautiful. Time to eat. Man, oh man. First meat we've had in probably a little over a week. Yeah, we've still got our starvation penalty, but for one thing, we're okay. We've got meat now, and we're not going to be doing any hunting at the moment since we just killed one. Let's take a refreshing drink, and let's get back over here. I think we should be able to sleep a little bit. That was nice. We were able to sleep right through the night. Most of the day and morning, actually. Let's eat some roasted, keep them well fed, and let's finish off this butchering. Beautiful. So we can probably pick everything up. Yep, our buddy is still pretty powerful despite his starvation. Eat some more roasted meat. Okay, now comes the hard part. Number one, we need to zoom back out and return to the green X first thing. Yeah, let's grab everything we've got here. Probably don't need that slender trunk, to be honest. We can get one of those somewhere else. The branches are helpful, but... honestly, I think... I forgot to drop those spruce withies with me. That was probably part of the reason we had such a high penalty, but I was able to keep them and get the animal killed, so no big deal. We should remove this mark, though, so we'll select it and then delete it. And now we've got to get back to either this village or maybe there's still one like here along the way. Yeah, I haven't quite opened everything up yet, but it is imperative that we get to at least a place which has a fire and an enclosed room. So let's hit the trail once again and get there fast. I didn't see any villages along the way, but we did manage to make it up to this one. So I think we should be good. Let's introduce ourselves. Bothering them at an unusual hour. Hey, look at this. Yeah, we've got a quest giver too. So old Koivula man needs help with herbs. Well, that'll be interesting, but we've got priorities. So let's find a building. Like this one right here. It has the active fire pit, but no fire going. So what we want to do... I'm going to drop the branches. Actually, let's hold off on that. Yeah, I'm going to go get a little bit of firewood. Now, I can't really cut down trees in their general, like, vicinity, but if we come up here, this is probably far enough away. I should be able to cut down. Here we go. Here's a small tree. I do have axes, but I don't want to spend all day chopping down a small tree. We'll just grab, about 3. Actually, we better move... We'll just move 4 of them. 4, perfect. So that'll get us a little fire started and hopefully smoke out the room a bit. Now, unless it's been changed, we should be able to start a fire in their fire pit without like them getting upset with us. So let's see. All right, let's push the fire stuff in there. Actually, hold on one more time. Let me drop the branches now. We'll push everything into the fire pit. Light the fire. Let's just place some firewood over there. What? Is there not enough? Oh, there's a fire already going. Okay, I think somebody probably lit it right before I did, but either way, that's fine. Now we want to go ahead and go Shift, Cook, E for smoke. Looks like we've got a couple of stacks, so let's do these 26 here. 15 foot of cordage, 13 foot, boom, we've done it. Look at that. And again, if it will work, only if the place is valid. So we know that this is a great spot to smoke. We don't have to worry. Let's eat a little bit of lunch here. Beautiful, actually, some breakfast. But now we can do it. We can smoke the meat, and I'm going to real quick go to the map. Let's mark this village. So, meat here. Yeah. Oop. Well, it's spelled wrong, but I know what it means. So, yeah, because it will take a couple of weeks, 15 days exactly, for the smoked meat to be done. And we want to kind of get back here, obviously, as soon as we can. We'll probably want to eat the meat, but also I'm a little nervous, like the villagers might come and pick it up if it's here for too long. So let's repeat our commands, and I'm just going to start doing big batches of this. Honestly, I think we have just enough cordage, maybe some extra. Yep, we'll do that. Beautiful. Now, it's going to be so much easier for me to make this like my primary village. In other words, when we get other kills, I just want to come back to this one instead of having, our smoked meat spread all over the place with different skins. So once I finish this batch, I'm going to go back around the lake, across the river, or circumventing the river, and I'm going to return to this spot. I'm going to take apart the traps so we don't kill any animals needlessly, and I'm going to grab that fur and a little bit of the other stuff that was there. We'll leave the camp in case we cross back and we want a different hunting ground in the future, but we need to set up another camp here nearby. So let's finish this off. Oh, it's so good to know that we've got some meat being preserved. You know, we've got 14 cuts left. Only 2 pieces are roasted. Let's go ahead and roast the rest of it. Yeah, this will be for us to eat over the next couple of days. Cut the rest of that. Beautiful. Now, we need to wait for that to finish. It'll be just a half an hour or so. I think I'm just going to rest for that time. Boom. And, all right, we got a nice bit of meat. That'll last us about a week. And we've got 2 weeks, well, until the smoked is done. Now, we need to find somewhere to start setting up for our skinning here. There we go. So in other words, we need a little bit of water, and this is the perfect spot, the village spring. Let's go into our hide working. We'll hit clean, and it's ragged quality, but right now it's the best we've got. So I'll go through this process until he passes out, which is because he's on the verge of doing. Yep. And in the morning, we'll probably head over and start to make our way towards the old camp. Try and grab our stuff. So you have an eye for herbs. Oh, this is the quest giver. Yeah, we'll go through this. I'll probably accept this, and we can kind of do it in between hunts and stuff. Not a big deal. Well, I won't lie to you. That was a pretty tough hike. I had to stop and sleep, which wasn't bad, but just getting around those, you know, the rivers and going all the way up around the lake takes a while, and that skin isn't finished. I just put it on its next stage. In fact, the fat for that next stage is right here. So, in other words, we can't stick around. We need to just grab everything we want to take, that for sure. Oh yeah, we'll take the torch. Yep. That's all we need. Everything else is basically firewood. Let's look at these traps. Yeah, nothing hit these. Not surprising. Of course, there was no bait in them, so we'll just disassemble them. I'm not going to take the resources with me, but we do need to get back to our new campsite, which is just the village for now, but what we will do is build another little shelter near that, and that will become our new hunting ground. So it took us a while to get situated, but ultimately we got to just go wherever the game is, you know. We're not going to be setting up too much agriculture in this playthrough, but who knows, in the future I definitely will do another vegetarian challenge where we only grow our own food, or, you know, harvest wild stuff. Those are always fun. I enjoy the big challenges. As you can see, I've put a lot of hours into this game, so I know it quite well, but, you know, it's fun to find new and creative ways to try and kill your character, essentially, is what it boils down to. But for right now, I think we'll end things right here. We do have a bit of a hike to get back to our new home, but I think we'll make it successfully, although you never know. Anything can happen between here and there, so make sure you tune in for the next episode of The Unreal World. If you liked it, hit that like button, and I'll see you guys on the next one.